Hi everybody, I'm Ajay Fry. No Joke explores the intersection between knowledge and comedy. So let's talk about chickens. It's estimated that there are 20 billion of them alive right now, which is a whole lot compared to the 7 billion people trying to share this little planet of ours. Chickens have become a ubiquitous part of our cuisine, our culture, and our comedy the world over. Why? Well, the cuisine part is obvious enough. They're healthier and tastier than most other animals that we kill and eat. The culture part may be directly linked with comedy, so why are chickens so funny? Some are cocky, sure, that's no exaggeration, but puns are poultry humor, and whether or not you may enjoy them personally, they're not the breast yolks, so pluck it, we'll get them over with, and hatch a plan to fly the coop so we're not winging it as we investigate the hens and outs of chicken gags and learn why chicks and guys alike get so peckish for people who make them cluckle. I know, that was foul. Chickens and comedy cooked together long before one was mysteriously motivated to cross the road, so which came first, the chicken or the joke? Both evolved, actually. Like music, fashion, and art, the comedy we enjoy has a great deal to do with our culture, or lack thereof. There's DNA evidence that chickens evolved from dinosaurs, specifically the fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex, though the modern chicken of 2017 is more accurately a crossbreed of the red and gray jungle fowl, which were first domesticated roughly 10,000 years ago in Asia. Combining things to see what works is a key element of comedy and science. By strapping a tail onto a chicken, a team of researchers hoped to learn about the way T-Rexes may have walked. By strapping inflated pigs' bladders or dead chickens to slapsticks for additional comedic effect, medieval theater performers may have unknowingly secured chickens their place upon the throne of comedy. As time and sensibilities evolved, dead chickens were replaced with rubber chickens, and while slapstick or physical comedy is alive and well today, the most popular comedy challenges us through metaphor to look at our own most absurd behaviors, like this parody commercial from Saturday Night Live written by Robert Smigel and featuring the late great Phil Hartman.
Hey, Clucky, why's the clucking chicken so chickalicious?
Everybody knows why. It's 'cause I'm flame royal. Yowzy, yow, down. First, my head's cut off. Heads up. Then I'm plucked and gutted. My intestines are pulled out. Trust me, you don't want them. Whee, look at me. I'm getting quartered and split. Breast, wings, the whole 9 yards. Choppity chop. Then the pieces of me get flame broiled. Hear that sizzle? That's me!
Rolling Stone included that on their list of the top 50 SNL sketches of all time, and for good reason. It isn't funny because the cartoon chicken talks like this while oblivious to what's happening to him. It's funny because it points out the truth that we're oblivious at best and indifferent at worst to the conditions that we put upon chickens just for the convenience of a fast food restaurant, which is also where Dave Chappelle found inspiration for this classic bit.
Have you ever had something happen that was so racist that you didn't even get mad? You were just like, God damn, that was racist. I was in Mississippi doing a show, and I go to the restaurant to order some food, and I say to the guy, I say, I would like to have, and before I even finish my sentence, he says, the chicken. I said, what the? I could not believe it. Could not believe that shit. This man was absolutely right. I said, how did he know that I was gonna get some chicken? All these years, I thought I liked chicken because it was delicious. Turns out I'm genetically predisposed to liking chicken.
In the 17 years since that joke, racism has remained a significant force in Western culture, which is why Louis C.K. more recently used a classic chicken joke to continue exploring the subject.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Because there was a black guy walking behind him. And he was nervous. He was new to the city, this chicken, and he was like, I feel like he's following me, but I'm not sure. This joke is not racist. The chicken was racist. The chicken was definitely racist, but that's chickens. Chickens are very closed down and suspicious and prejudiced. You kind of can't blame them considering that their species murder rate is 100%.
At one point, it was common for all the top comics to joke about racial stereotypes, but as society evolved, the top comics like Dave Chappelle were telling jokes about their own first-hand experiences with racism. And now we're telling jokes about racists because finally they're rightfully at the bottom of society's power structure. Or at the top. As we've slowly evolved and learned how to treat each other better, we haven't been making the same progress as stewards of our feathered friends. It used to be that the worst day of a chicken's life was its last when...
Heads up!
Side note, in 1945, one chicken famously lived for 18 months without a head when the axe missed the jugular vein and left part of its brainstem and one ear intact. If you find that grotesque, you might be shocked to learn that we were still using decapitation as a method to kill people around the same time. Eugene Weidmann was a German criminal and the last person publicly executed by guillotine in France back in 1938, and it continued to be used in private until September 1977, the same year that Bill Cosby released Disco Bill, a comedy album, which included this song.
What you think about licking my chicken?
Good God!
What you think about licking my chicken?
Get down! You gotta get down!
It's gotta be reassuring for guys like Bill that we've stopped using the guillotine on society's less desirables, but for the billions of chickens leading aimlessly unstimulating lives locked up amongst thousands of their siblings in modern factory farms, a swift decapitation might sound like a sweet bit of mercy. A factory chicken's life is so awful it's almost unthinkable to joke about it, but a 2015 episode of BoJack Horseman entitled Chickens does, and it's nothing short of brilliant. In fact, one fan was so moved, they wrote and posted their one and only IMDb review to say, among other things, it made me question my eating habits more than anything else has ever done before. That's what good comedy does. It makes us question ourselves and our reality, and we need it to, because as the episode points out, our traditional media doesn't challenge us nearly as much as it should.
How do you respond to allegations that factory farming is torture or cruel or like a terrifying movie about some strange dystopian society, but in this monster story, the horrifying monsters are us?
Relax, Tommy. Everything we do is completely legal and FDA approved, so therefore it is fine.
I have no follow-up questions.
It's important to remember that legality doesn't equal morality. Slavery and segregation were once legal and could be again if we don't protect the progress that we've made. We're not just locking up chickens like this either. Today in 2017, there are hundreds of thousands of people living in similarly confined spaces. They're not criminals, just peaceful people who ran away from their homes and their lives because the threat of losing their heads was eminently real. Wouldn't you do the same? Refugees are people just like us, and the ones who fear them and call them names are really
Chicken! McFly!
Nobody calls me chicken.
Except they're not, because chickens aren't actually chicken. It's a popular misnomer. The red and gray jungle fowl weren't bred to make tasty egg-laying birds. They were bred for cockfighting. Roosters are aggressively territorial, hens are especially protective of their broods, and all chickens are loving social animals. One study suggests they even have best friends like we do. And a sense of humor is one of, if not the most important traits that people look for when it comes to finding partners. Why? Because having a sense of humor proves that you've got other desirable qualities too, like knowledge, creativity, and empathy. Make a joke and you also demonstrate a bit of bravery because you're putting yourself, your perspective, and morality out there. And it hurts when nobody laughs. So why are chickens funny? Because we're funny. We're funny, and we're cruel, and we're very weird. Chickens are a convenient and tasty metaphor for ourselves. Sadly, the real joke about chickens is how badly we're treating them, and you don't have to be an activist to understand and agree it isn't funny. Fortunately, we can all write a new joke for the chickens of tomorrow if we can keep evolving ourselves. All we've got to do is recognize there's a problem where we're at, and we've all got to get across to the other side, or we'll always be the punchline. So, humanity, are we brave enough? Or are we chickens? They're no joke. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've got links to research, resources, and funny chicken videos that didn't quite make it into the episode down below. Otherwise, you can click to watch another episode of No Joke or subscribe to this channel, but it would be super swell if you'd like and share this video or leave a comment maybe suggesting a topic for my next No Joke. Thanks again, and see you in the future.